My boyfriend and I have been in a relationship for just under 2.5 years. I was under the impression that his family liked me a lot, and that my family liked him a lot as well. We got back from a family vacation just 2 days ago, and I'm feeling conflicted about it now. To get to the story, my family invited my boyfriend to come on a vacation with us for 3 days out of our home state. It wasn't anything extravagant, just a small little trip where we went hiking and sightseeing, etc. Me, my sister, my brother, and my boyfriend drove separate from my mom, dad, and grandparents. While we were driving, my boyfriend asked my siblings if they would be uncomfortable if their significant others invited them on a trip like this. My brother said that if he had only been with them for a short time, then yeah. But given our circumstances, no. Since I was the one driving, I just stayed quiet. I'll be honest, it hurt my feelings a lot, but I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. I'm quite an overthinker. When we got to the hotel we were staying at, my boyfriend just looked like he didn't want to be there. So I asked him if he was having fun, to which he said no. I really just don't want to be here. I was honestly taken aback because I didn't really know what to say. I started to tear up and just walked away. The rest of that trip was just silence between us and awkward conversations between him, my dad, and my mom, as they didn't realize anything was wrong. I didn't say anything to anyone because I didn't want to ruin the mood or cut the trip short. But when we got back home, I tried talking to him about it. He said that he was just shocked he got invited to something like this and that his parents also thought it was weird. I just kind of stared at him for a second because I literally didn't understand what was so weird about it. I said if he didn't want to go or felt uncomfortable with going, he didn't have to, and he just kind of shrugged. I just asked him to leave my house, and we would talk later because I was so shocked and hurt that he and his family would call me and my family weird for inviting him on a small trip with my family. I'm super close with his family, and it's not like he doesn't know any of mine. Is it really weird to invite my boyfriend of 5 years to a small vacation? Top comments. Your boyfriend and his family sound weird. You and your family sound fun, inclusive, and thoughtful. Exactly. We invited our daughter's boyfriend on a family reunion trip with my immediate side of the family. They were 23 and we all had a great time. Yes, when my first husband and I were dating, he passed away after 8 years of our being married. I went on every trip his family took. Beach trips 10 hours away, etc. I went with his mom and him. I went with his sister and brother-in-law, etc. We were madly in love and everybody knew we'd be married. There was no keeping us apart from the minute we met. Where one of us was, the other was there. His family was my family and mine was his. I think the boyfriend and his family are strange here. I don't see the problem, and if boyfriend thought it was weird, why did he go? Small update, 10 hours later. Hi all. I feel like it's kind of cliche to say that I didn't really expect for this to get as much attention as it did. I appreciate everyone taking the time to respond to me and let me know that I am in fact not crazy about this. For the update, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. I have not fully gotten to sit down and talk with my boyfriend yet. We spoke briefly later last night after I had made my post about how he severely hurt my feelings with what he had said. And he apologized. But it honestly just felt forced. We haven't spoken anymore about it yet. For some questions like what culture are we from, we do not have any kind of ethnic background, and neither of our families are religious at all. We've spent the night at each other's houses, and to my knowledge, he wasn't opposed to that at all. For those of you asking if he was uncomfortable about the low-cost vacation, I have no idea. His family doesn't often take vacations, but not because they can't afford it. I just don't think they want to. For those of you asking about our communication skills, this has been an outstanding problem for the majority of our relationship. I try explaining to him that we can solve problems sooner if he's open and honest, but sometimes he just doesn't speak his mind before it's too late. And last, he's very close with his family, but he was always worried that my family didn't like him. It truly just felt like a slap in the face when he didn't want to be there, as I feel like this is a surefire way to say we like you. From my family. For those wondering, I do want to save this relationship if possible. I love my boyfriend, and we've been through a lot together, and I don't want to let go of him. And before this mess, everything was fine. I just don't know what happened here. I'll give another update whenever me and him actually sit down and talk. But I figured I'd answer some questions while I'm here. Once again, thank you, everyone. Comments. This may seem an odd question, but does he call you his girlfriend and introduce you that way to others? Have you discussed what your relationship looks like down the road and next steps? His response is so odd. I'm just wondering if it's possible you two are viewing the relationship differently. Update 1 day later. Hey everyone. I just got done talking with my boyfriend, and I have a lot to say. This will most likely be my last update unless something huge happens. Mostly because I've already come to the conclusion that this has completely opened my eyes. To start, I've seen many comments addressing a post I made a year ago. I'm not going to go too far into it as that post was a lot more dramatic and quite frankly embarrassing to me. But yes, it was about the same boyfriend, and it was about the same communication errors. I'll admit that I have attachment issues, which doesn't help my situation. While I'm close with my family, I don't really talk to them about relationship issues because they usually don't take it very seriously. This is just their way of lightening the mood, I guess. Other than my family, I don't have a very good support system, especially when it comes to my relationships. For those who told me to have a little more self respect, thank you for that. But also be kind. You never know what people are going through. Quite frankly, I don't have a lot of self respect, but for my own issues, which I'm not going to talk anymore about. For the update, I spoke to my boyfriend, and it went anything other than good. I told him once again that it hurt my feelings with what he had said during the trip, and to my brother, and he said it isn't as serious as I think it is. He also said that I was dragging this out when I didn't need to, which really was an eye opener. Considering we didn't talk about it for more than maybe 30 minutes last night, and 5 minutes the day we got home, I don't think I'm dragging it out. But okay, I told him that he made me feel small. He said he was just shocked that he would get invited to something like that, and felt like a part of the family. I asked him why he said he didn't want to be there, and why he asked my siblings a questions like that if he was feeling happy and a part of the family. And he just said he fucked up and said, dumbass. He also told me that he's not worried about it, and hopes I get over it soon. Which I will, but not with him by my side. A lot of people told me that coming onto Reddit was a bad idea, simply because all people would tell me is that I needed to leave him, and I should have just communicated with him. However, I feel like if I had just had this conversation without the hundreds of people telling me I wasn't crazy or reading the situation wrong, I wouldn't have decided to end things. I'm grateful to all of you who took the time to post, and you are welcome to call me dumb for not nipping this when I first knew I was unhappy. It's now my time to start healing and moving on because 500 strangers on the internet told me I deserve better. So I'm going to listen this time. Some comments. Somebody said, a piece of advice to everyone out there in the ether. Someone who casually disregards your feelings and blows you off when you try to bring up something important to you, even if they don't think it's a big deal, is not a good partner. I'm not saying you need to break up with this person immediately, but you should understand that they are a bad partner who cares minimally about you and proceed accordingly. He also told me that he's not worried about it and hopes I get over it soon. That's how you know how little he cares about your feelings. What a weird guy, original poster replied. Oh, and I don't know how I forgot to add this in the update. But one of the shining quotes after he told me I'm dragging this out. You're acting like I fucked your mom or something. A commenter, what a keeper. Glad you tried talking it out with him so that you know it isn't your fault. It's just him being a weirdo, and you can let go of him without any guilt. You try to talk about it and save the relationship. It's always good to know if it won't work out ASAP so you can move on with your life. Another tiny update. 15 hours later, hi all. I know I said my last post would be my last update unless something big happens. But I feel like after reading and responding to the comments, I've found myself becoming bitter and emotional over the situation. This is more of just a true off my chest sort of deal. Or maybe me asking how I can repair the relationship I have with myself. When I look at your comments, my heart aches with how stupid I was for spending over 2 years with someone who didn't value me. And now I'm struggling with the fact that I actually miss him. Or at least miss who I thought he was. I will not go back, but I just can't help but feel like I could have saved it if I tried more. I know that's ignorant and naive, but the breakup just happened yesterday, and now I'm feeling the aftermath. I'm not sure why these feelings are coming to me now, as I'm not sure that I'm really much lonelier outside of that relationship than I was inside of it. I just wish I had more things or more people to surround myself with. I've thought about starting to go to the gym to hopefully meet new people and get myself into a schedule to fill up the time. Maybe go experience some shopping therapy. I feel like it's just going to be a couple weeks of pampering myself before I feel okay enough to move on with my life. I feel like everybody needs at least a week to be disappointed and upset about how their life is going right now, lol. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. This is seriously my last post. And I'm going to start focusing on myself now, rather than living in this disgusting situation. Thanks again. For those wondering how my boyfriend responded to the breakup, I actually thought he would last 2 days without trying to guilt trip me with pictures and memories of us. But just 5 minutes ago, he called me and tried to get me realize my mistake. I don't know. Hopefully he gets over it soon because he's kind of dragging it out. And to those who are going to tell me to block him, I still have a lot of his things and need to return them first. After, then I'll block him. Come on, send him a text message telling him to pick up his things on X day between times. ZY. Put his crap on your porch or in your apartment hallway. Have a friend or two with you so he can't try anything. If his things are not picked up, you drop them off at Goodwill. If he refuses to get his things, it will qualify as abandonment of his property. Porch or front lawn drops can get you in trouble, but having a friend-run buffer is smart. Specifically, stack his crap by the front door, but inside so he can't go picking and choosing what he wants to take. Black garbage bags are a little insulting, but fuck buying moving boxes for an ex. You're mourning the loss of who you thought he was, and who he could have been with you guys together in the future. That's okay. Very normal. Don't beat yourself up for giving it your all for 2 years. That wasn't a waste. You've just proven how loving and dedicated as a partner you can be. You now know what you bring to the table and how valuable it is. Happy healing and putting yourself first right now. As hard as it is in the beginning, you've made the best choice here.
A few months ago, my sister, let's call her Jane, got engaged and started planning her wedding. Jane is 37 years old. Growing up, we were always close, sharing secrets and supporting each other through life's ups and downs. However, Jane has always had a tendency to be backhanded and passive-aggressive. She would make snide remarks under the guise of concern and often find subtle ways to belittle me or others. Despite this, I always tried to maintain a good relationship with her, believing that deep down she cared for me. This all came to a head during a recent family gathering at Jane's house. My son, Liam, who is 7 years old, has a bladder issue that sometimes causes him to have accidents. We've been working with doctors and trying our best to manage it, but it's a sensitive topic for him. During the gathering, Liam had an accident. He was embarrassed, and I was in the process of helping him clean up when Jane noticed. Instead of being understanding or discreet, Jane loudly pointed it out in front of everyone. She said things like, "How disgusting," and "At his age, this is unacceptable." She even went as far as to say that Liam should be ashamed of himself, and criticized me for not getting him under control. Her comments made Liam burst into tears, and I quickly took him home to comfort him. As I was gathering our things to leave, Jane came over, still clearly upset. She asked me why I was leaving. I looked at her, trying to keep my voice calm for Liam's sake. "Jane, I think it's best if we go home. Liam is very upset right now." Jane rolled her eyes at me. "Oh, come on. It's just an accident. He needs to learn how to handle these things better. You can't just coddle him forever." My patience was wearing thin, but I tried to explain again. "Jane, Liam has a medical condition. We're working with doctors, and it's a sensitive issue for him. Your comments just now were really hurtful. I was just telling the truth. He needs to toughen up. You're not doing him any favors by babying him." At this point, I was furious, but didn't want to escalate the situation in front of Liam. I took a deep breath and said, "We'll talk about this later, Jane. Right now, I need to take care of my son." Without waiting for a response, I gathered Liam and headed to the car. On the drive home, I couldn't shake the image of Jane's face and her harsh words. This wasn't the first time she had made Liam feel bad about his condition. Each time, I had hoped she would understand and show some empathy, but it seemed like she was only getting worse. The next day, I called Jane to talk about what had happened. This conversation is from what I can remember. I wanted to explain again, away from the heat of the moment, and hoped she would see reason. "Jane, about yesterday. I need you to understand how much your words hurt Liam. He's already struggling, and your comments made him feel even worse." Instead of apologizing, Jane was very defensive. "I'm not going to apologize for telling the truth. You need to stop coddling him, and he needs to learn to deal with the real world." Her response was like a punch to the gut. I had hoped for some empathy, some understanding, but it was clear she wasn't going to give it. "Jane, I don't think you understand how serious this is. He has a medical condition. It's not something he can just toughen up from." She told me, "Look, I have a wedding to plan. I don't have time for this drama." When Jane's wedding invitations went out, I received one, but I felt conflicted. On one hand, she's my sister, and it's a significant event in her life. On the other hand, I couldn't forget how she humiliated my son and her refusal to apologize. After much thought, I decided to decline the invitation. I didn't feel comfortable celebrating with someone who had been so cruel to my child. When Jane found out, she was livid. She accused me of trying to ruin her special day and called me petty and overdramatic. Some family members sided with her, saying I should let it go for the sake of family harmony, while others understood my decision and supported me. This wasn't the first time Jane had done something like this. She has a history of making hurtful comments about Liam's condition and generally lacks sensitivity when it comes to his medical issues. Each time, I've tried to address it calmly, hoping she would eventually understand and be more considerate. Unfortunately, she never changes, and her behavior continues to hurt my son. Jane has been blowing up my phone, including other family members. Now, I'm left questioning if I'm the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding. I don't want to cause family drama, but I also feel strongly about standing up for my son. This wedding is just the latest incident in a long line of hurtful behavior from Jane, and I'm not sure how much more I can take. So, am I the a-hole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after she publicly humiliated my son? Top comments. Somebody said, "You need to do more as his parents." We're no longer attending gatherings with Jane owing to the negative impact she has on my son. One commenter replied, "This, and keep it going like a broken record every time the family tries the 'just keep the peace' mantra." The moment you show you aren't going to be the one to persuade to give in to Jane's behavior is the moment the rest of the family might actually start to tell Jane to sit the hell down and shut the hell up. If someone comes at you with "keep the peace," tell them that you are. You are keeping your own peace and that of your child by not engaging with his bully. If they want to see the two of you, they will need to make a choice. And be prepared for pushback and for their choices to hurt, because they might. Your child's well-being is worth it. Another commenter said, "Not the a-hole, but for the love of God, stop taking your child around this woman. You are facilitating the harm being done." Somebody said, "You the a-hole, why have you been subjecting your poor son to this pile of dung masquerading as a human?" I hate posts like this. I love my sister, brother, significant other. We are so close and love each other so much. They are kind and caring, blah blah blah. Just one thing though, they keep doing obviously malicious, nasty things. Am I wrong for thinking about maybe having a quiet, calm conversation to express my feelings using overuser therapy that I know full well they won't respond to positively? I won't even swear at them or anything. And when they don't apologize and change, I will continue to do nothing while my child suffers. Ma'am, I'm glad you're standing up for your son now, but you should have been doing a lot more much sooner. Sometimes yelling, screaming, and cursing are an acceptable response to unacceptable behavior. Goddamn. Original poster replied, "I agree with you. I truly feel guilt about this, and I'm not going to play the victim here. It's about my son, and I want what is best for him." Update. Hi all. It has been a few hours since I made my first post. I wanted to say thank you for all the love going to my son, Liam. It truly means the world. I wanted to address some things. The reason I bring Liam to these gatherings is because he loves his cousins. He enjoys spending time with family. Liam doesn't like wearing pull-ups or diapers of any form. That is why I haven't necessarily been using them. Now, to further update. I've talked to Liam about what happened. I told him that it wasn't his fault at all, and that Aunt Jane was being very rude and inconsiderate. I told him that he's an amazing boy, and to never let anybody say otherwise. My son was very happy to hear this. He told me that what Jane had said to him hurt his feelings a lot, and I completely understood. I asked him if he wanted to continue to go to these family events. He said no. I fully supported his decision. My son comes first, and the comments have helped me realize that I've let Jane walk all over me with the fear of causing a tear in the family. Now, I'm going to have little to no contact with Jane. I'll send her the occasional holiday message, but that's it. I cannot be around someone who hurts my son. I felt as if I had failed as a mom, and the comments have truly opened my eyes, so thank you all. As for the people in my family who support my sister, I have blocked them all. I refuse to allow people who agree with her mentality to be involved in my son's life. I love my son with all my heart, and I would do anything for that little guy. I think that I should have put a stop to it sooner, and I regret not doing that. However, I know that I can be a better mom, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I messaged the family that was contacting me in a mass group chat, and I told them that we would no longer be coming to any family events. If they wanted to see my son, they would have to come individually, or the event would have to be hosted by me. I also told them that my sister's behavior needs to be fixed because that was the reason our family is being torn apart. Not because I'm not going to her wedding, but because she decided to make fun of my child. My mother is on my side and fully supports my decision. My father is still stuck in the middle, and for that I think I should go low contact with him too. I'm going to keep in touch with you all and keep the updates coming whenever I can. All I know is that even if she gives my son the apology he deserves, I want nothing to do with her. I don't want her around my son. Somebody said in comment section, "You got this, mama." Another replied, "Yep, what makes a great mom isn't doing everything perfectly. It's recognizing and acknowledging you made a misstep. Of course, correcting and admitting that to your little man and reminding him how awesome he is. That's exactly what you did. She made your son feel he's bad wrong for something he can't help. It's abusive any way it's framed. She made a point to shame him publicly and loudly. You're not wrong at all. I'm glad your mom supports you. Anyone that won't doesn't get time with your sweet boy. Her behavior is akin to a bully, not an aunt who supposedly loves and supports him. I hope she recognizes at her age menopause isn't so far off. The days of sneezing, coughing, and peeing herself a little will be here, so hope she can take what she dishes out and enjoy a little karma. Last update. Hi everyone. It's been a couple of months since I made my update post, so I figured I should update once more if anyone is still interested. My sister Jane got married on December 4th, and it has been such a roller coaster. I did not go to the wedding, nor did I go to any after party or gathering they had. I'm not at all interested in any of their plans. From what I heard, red wine was spilled on her dress, which in turn ruined the photos. Karma's a beach. Anyways, I ended up taking Liam to the mall and just spent the entire day with him. I bought him some new Lego sets, clothes, and basically everything he wanted. My boy deserves to be spoiled. Before anyone asks, yes, he still has his bladder issues. However, yes, we managed to get him used to wearing pull-ups and other things to manage his accidents. A lot of people sent me messages regarding certain things to use, and honestly, it really helped a lot. I checked a few of them before I logged out of this account. It wasn't easy getting him used to the change, but Liam understood that it was for the best and learned to use them. He hasn't really complained about anything so far. Now the big question is, what's going on with my sister? Like I said, she got married and all blah blah blah. According to her maid of honor, she was a real bridezilla. So glad I wasn't there. I feel bad for her fiancé, really nice guy. I am still no contact with her or anyone in my family that supported her. My mother has been my rock. It hasn't been that hard to adjust actually. My father has been cut off as well. My father and I never got along, so it isn't a loss for me. I fully believe that he is the reason my sister acts the way she does. My sister has tried to reach out to me a couple of times. Most of them were just her berating me for not going to the wedding, and the others were half-assed apologies. I could honestly care less about what she says. I read some of the comments, and guys, you made him the happiest little boy on earth. His birthday was actually 4 days ago, January the 22. He is now 8 years old. We had a nice Lego-themed party for him. He loves Legos. My mom and a few cousins were invited, along with his school friends. He had an accident during the party, but finally, no one was there to berate him for something he can't control. I'm also saying thank you for anything. If anything in the future happens, I'll be sure to update you guys, but for now, this seems to be it. Love you all, and thank you for the support.